Hi, this is Emma Willis.
And I'm Helen Christoni.
Welcome to our Make Time podcast. We are two women on a mission to uncover the secrets of making time for everything.
From work and relationships to our brain, body, and beauty, we'll explore it all and share it with all of you.
We interview experts so we can discover more practical tips to make time so we have more time for our family, friends, and ourselves.
So join us as we chat with incredible guests who share their expertise on all the ways we can learn to make time, especially for you.
Okay, it's time to make time.
Welcome to our Season 2 finale episode, another amazing season of learning how to make time for ourselves, for our brains, our bodies, and our beauty, in that order. We have had some amazing guests in the last few months, including Ariel Zenya, Ty Lewis, Natalie Tran, Lauren Francis, Dr. Kellyanne Niotis, Michelle Bender, Patty Roberts, Jamie Graber, Dr. Roxanne Perot, and Barry Leonard Grant. We have covered a lot of ground. We've talked about the importance of caregiving, of making time to flirt and for love. We talked about fun ways to prioritize our brain health and the power of daily writing. We've learned the basics of meditation and how to tend to our grief. On today's episode, Emma and I are going to take a look back at some of the things we've learned from our guests. So let's make time.
Helen, welcome to the finale of Season 2.
Can you believe it?
I can't believe it. It went by so quickly, and we had so many incredible guests.
I think it's just amazing how we've made time for this podcast for another season.
I know. I think it's great. So we're coming to a close on Season 2, and I'm really excited about Season 3.
We're so excited about Season 3, but for those of you, like when you're podcasting, it's very important that you make time and take a little break.
Oh, yeah. So that is exactly what we're doing. We're going on a little hiatus. You know, how long is our hiatus, Helen?
Not long. And we're coming back with some amazing Season 3 guests. We're so excited. And so we want to make sure that we make a lot of time with you this summer.
Yeah. So I think what we should do is recap our Season 2 and some of our guests that we've had, which we've had exceptional ladies on the podcast.
I really, can we just get into it and talk about what we loved about Season 2?
Yeah, there's so much to love.
Yeah. So let's talk about making time for love with Lauren Francis.
Oh, that was fun. I loved that. Making time for love, making time for dating. That was a good one.
Yeah, and she gave some great tips.
She really did.
No fail flirt tip. Okay, I call it the magical phrase, nice tie. If you just look at something a person is wearing or doing, cute poodle, right? I love your watch. Nice shirt. Just complimenting anything that someone is wearing or doing is a very easy way to break the ice.
Yeah, I like Lauren. She's like an old friend of yours, right?
Lauren is just fabulous. And so, if you need a dose of self-confidence and just, I don't know, she's just so...
a ray of light.
Yeah, and she's just filled with positivity and enthusiasm and self-motivation. And she's just really, she's great.
Okay, good. Yeah, we love Lauren Francis. So definitely check out that episode. Making time for love and dating and authentic connections. That was a good one. I really love talking to Ty Lewis.
Oh, yeah.
And that was all about caregiving. Ty she's actually someone that I started following on Instagram and was just so inspired by her story. She's the primary caregiver to her mother, who has Alzheimer's. And I was very inspired by her story.
Yeah. And I just remember coming away with everybody needs some Ty Lewis in their life. Her energy was really something else.
She's very inspirational, very uplifting. You want Ty in your corner for sure.
Rest in your current circumstance and to find joy in it. Because a lot of times we say, how can we make time and how can we do this and how can we do that? But when you rest in what's happening, even when it is chaotic, and your mind is at peace, everything around you, your whole perspective will look different.
Yeah. And how about making time for pleasure and femininity with Ariel? I mean, she really taught us how to just make time to allow ourselves to be feminine
and sensual.
Yeah. And not run away from that.
And not rush. I actually love that. Was that our first episode? I think so.
Yeah.
She was like, slow it down. And I was like, wow, because I am such a rushed. I'm very rushed.
Oh gosh, I don't even know where I'm going, what I'm doing. But like, yeah, she was just like, move slowly.
Like, make an entrance into the room and talk slower.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, okay, we need to allow that. Femininity.
Yes.
Sensuality.
Yes.
ASMR.
We prioritize our pleasure and we make space and room and time for the grace by learning how to slow down.
I really love talking to Michelle Bender. So Michelle Bender is my collaborator on my upcoming book that's coming out September 9th called The Unexpected Journey. And Michelle has really sort of helped me unlock the writer in me. And going through the process of writing this book has been very beneficial and cathartic and healing. And we talked to her about writing.
So I think you need to make time for 7 minutes of writing a day. It doesn't have to be every day, but regularly. And that's because it's basically like therapy. It's healing, it's calming, both in those 7 minutes. Like when you're done, you feel so much better. It's like exercise. But there's also over time benefits of just calmer, less stressed, more productive, clarity in your thinking, better communication.
And we even did a challenge.
Yeah, the Make Time to Write challenge. That was awesome with all those prompts.
That was great. Was it 2 weeks or 1 week? I feel like it was like a 2-week challenge.
It was 2 weeks and we had prompts every day that really got you thinking. And what do you say? I love it. Like better out than in.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, Michelle was great with her writing prompts. That was so helpful. When I was getting stuck and was having writer's block, she would give me a writing prompt and it would just sort of open the door of like, oh yeah, I can actually get into this. So very helpful.
And then we had Dr. Niotes, and she was making time for a healthy mind, which was very in line with what we talk about here a lot over at Make Time Wellness. And so
she's really so up to date on women's brain health and just women's or brain health in general. So I always love talking to her because she always is so informative and there's always so much to learn from her.
And then of course, spending time with our friends and family. That's a form of stimulation that most people don't think about, but it's so impactful, not just for cognitive reserve, but also maintaining social connectiveness is key to brain health and key to stress reduction.
And then there is Patty Roberts, who we met in New York, and we just at a Make Time meetup, we fell in love with her. And her big thing is making time for gratitude.
Yes, Patty Roberts, we met at a Make Time meetup, and she was so fun, and I loved her energy. And making time for gratitude was, I love that episode.
Yeah, she was very big on like midlife, like empowering women in midlife and really like, this is like your best years. She was just really, really great.
Yeah, I loved her.
So initially early on, when brands would say, you have to use the word anti-aging, I'd be like, why would I do that though? Mm-hmm. It would make seeming this age like it's wrong or bad, and I just don't subscribe to that.
And then we had Jamie for making time to meditate. And I love that episode because, she kind of broke it down in simple terms. I remember that one of the highlights for me was, you think that you're supposed to be this like Buddha when you're meditating, like on top of a hill and your mind is blank. And if that's not how you're meditating, then you're not really meditating. But she's like, no, that's not it. You can have thoughts. And, it's about how the thoughts come in, but then how the thoughts kind of roll out. And you don't have to be a Buddha. And some days you can be a Buddha. And some days
you can't be a Buddha. No.
When everyone's always says to me, how do you become a good meditator? My answer is always, you do it every day. That's it. It's not about, you don't need the accoutrement, you don't need the crystals out and the incense burning. Sure, it's beautiful when you visualize it. And there's so much to that I love. But I also can do it inside my bathroom with someone screaming, with my kids screaming outside, like sitting with my husband, like he's not alone, like I'm not abandoning him, like he's being taken care of by someone else. But like, that's just as powerful as a practice, sometimes more so.
And then, Barry Grant. So making time for grief, grab your tissue boxes.
That was a heavy one.
Very heavy.
So beautiful. I loved talking to Barry because she is a grief specialist.
Yeah, and she really was like, you have to tend to your grief. And so she really provided our listeners some real actionable ways to really like tend to your grief if you're in that season. And that was just it was a very special episode.
It was a special one.
Yeah.
We're such a grief illiterate society, and we're so avoidant of anything that, might make anybody else sad. I didn't even want to be the sad girl in the room. And until I started talking about it and realized how much it opened up the conversation and made us all feel like we had a place.
Ladies, we want to invite you to join our Make Time movement to prioritize your brain health. The Make Time community empowers women to focus on making time for themselves and will provide you the tools and resources you need for your brain, body, and beauty in that order. Your brain is your most valuable asset, and it's time we all treat it that way. Join us at maketimewellness.com.
So what I love about you, Helen, is that you always ask our guests, what are some of the actionable tips that expert thinks that we should be making time for?
Yeah. And so check out some of these actionable tips that we learned in this episode.
So the first tip is to slow down.
Getting up in the morning and just saying, I am thankful for waking up. And so number one, show that gratitude.
We assume that, we're so busy and how could we fit another thing into our life? Well, don't try to fit another thing into your life. Find something that doesn't feel like you're having to fit it into your life.
Getting an air filter for the main spaces in your home is a huge win for reducing your toxic load.
Get rid of the whole perfectionist, editor on your shoulder. Like, this is for nobody's eyes but your own. And you don't have to worry about grammar, spelling. You don't even have to, it doesn't even have to be legible. Like, this is just to get what's in out.
I let my nose mean no. I have boundaries. So
Meditation 101, sit down, let it be quiet, and just start with something called the 3-part breath. You're going to inhale through your nose for 5 seconds. You're going to hold for 5 seconds, and then you're going to release out your nose for 5 seconds.
To even have sun on your face, before noon is a great grief tending practice.
So, Helen, another thing that we always love to ask our guests is, what are you not making time for that you should be making more time for? And I love to hear some of those answers.
Yeah. I mean, we are so fortunate that we're able to have these amazing people on the pod that are so accomplished in what they do, and they're such experts. But I think like part of our Make Time movement, and one of the reasons that we have this podcast, is that everybody has something that they're not making time for that you should be making time for. So it really makes it very real for everyone.
Listen, I'm going to kick it back to season 1, where we were having a lovely conversation with a doctor.
Yeah.
And we asked her this question, what are you not making time for that you should be? And she said her doctor's appointments.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah. I mean, we always get these like wild answers. And so I think we're going to listen in on what some of these experts need to make time for too.
So I thought about this question, and the thing that kept coming up for me was reading.
One of the things that I am committing to, especially this year, is working out more, doing things for myself more.
Meditation is going to be my to-do for the coming weeks.
I need to go through, I don't want to do it. I want to just hire somebody to do this. I need to go through all of my digital media and organize my back end.
Stretching, is my thing. Physically stretching.
I need to make more time for therapy.
I don't cook enough. So that is definitely what I'm committing to, is cooking something, even if it's just a boiled egg.
So Helen, as we're wrapping up season 2, I would love to know, what are some of the things that you were going to make time for on our hiatus?
I really think that I need to make time to simplify. That's going to be my thing over hiatus. Just kind of simplify, wind it down, slow down a little bit. How about you? What are you going to make time for, Emma?
I think just some fun. I just want to have some fun. And I do, like the kids and I, we like whoop it up, we do have fun. But I think like with my girlfriends, right? Like go out, have fun. I know you and I were going to go to Vegas for, it's for an event, but like we're going to wrap some fun up in there.
We're going to make it fun. We're going to go a day early and have some fun. So for sure, make time for fun is always good. Now that we're just wrapping up season 2, I just want to thank everybody and for tuning in and for all your support. And we are just so touched by our listeners and all the feedback we get. So please, if Make Time Podcast has done something for you, if it's helped you in any way, share it with a friend, hit the subscribe button, leave us a review. And I can't wait to see you for season 3.
Yeah. Thank you to all of our listeners. I'm just going to mimic what Helen is saying. We enjoy doing this podcast so much. We really love speaking with all of these incredible guests that we have. We learn from them. I hope that you are learning about how to make time for things that really feed your soul. So we will be back with more on season 3.
So make time.
Let's make some time.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us today. We hope that listening to our podcast has empowered you to make more time for yourself. So make sure to subscribe, please leave a review, and share with a friend who could use a healthy reminder on the importance of making time.
And make sure to keep tuning in as we will continue to bring on incredible guests to share their Make Time tips on our upcoming episodes. And come say hi over at Make Time Pod or visit us at maketimewellness.com.
Until next time, make time.